Hi folks, and we are back to Per Aspera with our tiny little worker constructing our first carbon mine that'll allow us to start getting carbon, surprisingly enough. Look at it go. Come on, get that spire out. There we go. So our carbon mine will now start pumping out carbon. So we now have our silicon mine. We have worker hub. Yeah, worker hub will actually not need for a bit, and our iron mine already pumping out iron like there was no tomorrow. And if it stops doing that quickly, there actually will be no tomorrow because we'll die. Take that into account, little AI workers, please. And all of this activity, of course, we're starting to use up our meager stocks of advanced parts like electronics. So we'll need to start making our own. For now, let's make an aluminium mine, because we're also going to need a lot more aluminium that we've currently got. Only have 11 left there. Our single worker will manage for now. And, ooh, we only have 3 power left. We're already using way too much. Okay. So we actually need to okay, we need a kiln. Take that offline. We actually need a kiln. Start making glass out of the silicon. Can we place it? No. Well, right in between, yeah, the hub and the mine. I think is the most efficient way there. Start making some glass. And we're already out of power because of that. Too many things working simultaneously. Because we need to make a solar farm. For that we need glass, we have none. Yeah, there we go. Not enough power. I think you can stop for now. You have iron in stock there. Does they not have enough power, really? We'll work at reduced efficiency when they don't have enough power. They won't completely stop if it's partially powered, I think. Maybe I'm mistaken because it is not enough what we turned out. So let's see. Can we cut the silicon for a bit? It is what we need for glass, but I think we've got enough for the glass we need for the power, don't we? Yeah, 3. So that's 6. Yeah, we've got a lot now. So finish the cycle. Do that. Deliver the silicon here. We need to start making glass. And that'll end our power shortage. We can have everything working from there. So there's quite a bit of micromanaging. And with time, that will reduce at this scale, but it'll really get more complicated at a macro scale. Yeah, I know. Power shortage, power shortage, power shortage, because we need to direct it where it is crucial now. So once that is done, what we need is a solar farm. And I'm going to build it closer to the edge because, as you see, that blue outline is how far the supply will reach. So building it out from where we have the base is desirable because it increases the range, the distance at which you can build things. We put it northward then. Because that is, I don't know. The research center would still be within our radius, so that is actually pretty good. But let's do slightly overlapping here. So that is the transport hub. So the next one over would be here or here. So that's a good placement there. Yeah, some overlap. That'll give us an extra 30, I think, right? 40! Oh yeah. Pretty good. We won't need to micromanage power for a while, once that's built. Come on, little tiny worker, you'll have help soon enough. Actually, you can go back to work for a bit. It's transporting... yeah, it was transporting the electronics, now the glass. We're one glass away. Oh no, I think we've got enough already. Yeah. So construct that. That'll end our power supply woes. We can have everything working. It'll be our transportation that will be lacking because we cannot transport with just one worker all of this stuff. So it'll have to be prioritized. So there we go. Go back to work. Yeah, stuff is accumulating. Yeah. So, next up will be the parts factory. So near iron and aluminium, I think the best location would be somewhere over here. As close as we can to that depression there. There we go. After this, electronics. After electronics, worker. Yeah. And then polymers. Once we have polymers, we can make a maintenance facility. We'll be desperate for that, so that's the ultimate goal, so we have a full loop. And of course we can make, once we have a lot of electronics, we'll make a scanner to get resources scouted around before ours start running out. Another crucial point. There we go, we're building our first parts factory. These are very important. We need parts for just about anything mechanical. Who would have thought? Yeah, delivering the steel and the aluminium. So they can start making parts. Right, so you keep feeding everything we need, and we need an electronics factory. So we can start building workers. For that we'll need parts already, of course. And once we start having many workers, things will really speed up. So, electronics is silicon and aluminium. So I'll try to place them on this side, closer to the silicon and the aluminium. So goods don't have to travel all that much. And if we look out, it's minuscule. And wow, there's a tremendous ice cap. So if you look out, it says landing site 0. You can actually rename that, I think, or maybe not. I think there's somewhere we can rename those. Never take the time to do that. So power, ooh, we're already down to 15 again. Factories take a lot of power. So with that going, we will need, that's the electronics, the worker factory. So the worker needs aluminium, the parts, the electronics. So there. We're pretty close to being out of electronics after that, but we've built up quite a few parts already, so we should be able to output our first worker not too long after we build this. We already have the 3 parts there. Workers, of course, need resources, so it's not like it's free construction. Alright. There we go. Build us a worker factory. It needs quite a few things. One of each, but quite a few things to get an extra worker. So, get on that. We have everything we need, I think. Ah, no, we're missing parts. Are you working on parts? No, we're not. We need aluminium for that. Yeah, start working on an extra part. And transport the goods that are stuck in production. Well, like a lot of carbon. We have 5 over there. I think that's the maximum. Oh no, the 6. Maybe 6 is the maximum. Once they get to the maximum, they start producing, so it's not a good thing to leave them on maximum. And we're already low on power, so we need a... yeah. Need another solar power plant. We have the materials except... Oh no, even the electronics we've got. Okay, so we're good on those. Let's build a second solar plant to the north then afterwards. Once we've got that done, and there's a worker coming out. Come on, get the machine part. We need a second worker. Speed things up. Excellent. Why are you not making one? Okay, you are making one. Just took you a while. Probably a cycle had to take over. Okay, so we're making more workers. We need power. So the grid is going to be worker, worker hub, power over there. Oh, that's oh yes, that's the research outpost. We may not want to have the power right on top of it, so to the west, if we can place it. We don't want to have it too close, because we may prevent ourselves from building the research outpost if we do that. That would be a fine placement, if not for where we will maybe be placing worker hub, so and that's way too far. Yeah, just telling us it's just going to block the resource. Not over there. But it'd be too far from anything else. We may have to change this eventually. But sure, that'll do for now. We're gonna need a steel factory. Not too long, because we're running out of steel there. Workers are very slow to build, wow. Alright, so another power plant will give us some breathing room to expand, building more facilities. And our little workers very, very overworked. Many things need carrying that he cannot carry. We're in the red here. Yeah, 6 is the maximum, so it's on red. It is no longer extracting, so we're losing efficiency here because we cannot transport all the things we're producing. Carbon the same. Get that certain worker out. We need that worker. In the meantime, let's get our remaining production facilities out. We are kind of strangled by a lack of aluminium. Integrity is still not a problem. It won't be for a bit. But I don't want to take too long to get to the maintenance facility. Things will get better with... Yeah, we need a lot more electronics for a scanner, though, so we can get more resources. But we need a maintenance facility before that, so... We need a steel factory. And we're gonna build it closer to the iron. Start making steel and moving that iron. Okay, we've got our second worker out. Excellent. And it's not exactly linear because having twice the workers doesn't just increase the transportation by 2. It's actually a little more than that because of the improved efficiency of transporting things closer to where the workers are hubbed, and there's a bit of an overlap in efficiency, so it's 0.3. Yeah, we're no longer overloaded. We're just lacking in production capacity, extraction capacity for some of these resources. And we don't have the stuff to scan for new resources just yet. So if we could get some more aluminium, that'd be great. Because that is the current choke point here. Not enough aluminium. So, gonna be making steel, so that will stop dipping. And we can create our polymer factory. For that we'll need chemicals. We can build our chemicals. Oh, we don't have an extraction facility yet, so let's do that. Oh yeah, that's we need an actual higher level mine for that one. Let's start extracting from this one, I think. Yeah, prioritize that for the aluminium. We don't need more parts for the time being. Ah, yes, we also need storage. We don't have enough storage. We haven't researched storage. Of course we haven't. Forgot about that. That's a research thing. Yeah. Okay, so got our chemicals plant being constructed here. Yet to work. That needs quite a bit of power. We're only at plus 25 now. But if we look at the transportation, yeah, we're no longer red all over the place. Maintenance, yeah, before that starts being a problem, we'll have our maintenance hub created. I'm not speeding things along very much because I need to keep a really close eye on efficiency, because we need to get things done efficiently if we're not going extinct. Because resources are tight to begin with. And until we start expanding, I'm very nervous about not doing things in the right order or quickly enough. So, choke point is still aluminium. Need the polymer factory. And I like having the main industries really around our landing site, because this is going to be a worker central of sorts. I like having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 worker hubs servicing this industrial hub. And typically, well, depending on how resources are placed, like storage and spaceports, and eventually a hyperloop. a functioning Hyperloop, not like the crap designs we've seen recent years on Earth. An actual functioning Hyperloop. Close to the industrial center so that goods can transfer quickly to and fro extraction hubs and the industrial production hubs. Of course, there's also a structural limit, and we'll research to increase that eventually, but for now, we're not even close to getting to that. That is not a concern for a while, for a long while. Yeah, so not much, not getting transported in time. It's more a matter of not getting enough aluminium for now. Give priority to that, we need polymers out. And, okay, fine. We're producing chemicals already, that's very important. And our polymer factory is in production here. Neat. So, looks evil, doesn't it? So if we zoom out, we'll have the iconography here, rather the zoom out icons. Makes managing things from a distance much, much easier. You can easily make out what industries and extractions have been established within a fairly wide radius. You can really zoom out quite far and still be able to tell what's what. Okay, so you're making chemicals quickly enough? Probably not, but enough to have enough polymers for a maintenance facility. And a maintenance facility has a very wide range. So let's see where we can place ours to cover all of the buildings we currently have. Or close to that. There is no single location we can have it do that. Maybe here. Yeah, that'll work. That will work, so let's put it there. I think we needed another worker hub soon enough. Our guys are starting to struggle, even at their current count. They do a very good job, I'd say, of prioritizing what to pick up in what order, so that facilities are not left idle or below maximum efficiency for too long. But it is important to keep in mind that workers do prioritize things that are closer to their hubs. So do try to place hubs strategically where you have more facilities, is what seems to work fairly well for me, typically. Can you make more polymers? Come on. Yeah, okay. So we're one polymer short and one aluminium short. Both currently under production. Okay. just concentrate on transporting the stuff that needs to be transported. A worker hub is aluminium. Yeah, it needs aluminium as well, so let's prioritize that for a bit. Get the aluminium delivered to the maintenance facility first. And then the next one we'll use for a worker hub. And I think I'm placing it down here, probably. Maybe there. Where are we going to place our scanner? I'd say... Oh, that's the... Yeah. Placing our second worker hub there, because we're going to be making an ice facility here. Heck, we're going to need 2 worker hubs. Whatever. We're going to need many worker hubs eventually, so... yeah, because we're going to need a food facility. That's probably going to be right there. Food factory, that is. Because we need the research, and for that we need food and water, so we're going to need an ice excavation there. And the scanner there, maybe? Is that covered by the... Yeah, that would still be covered by the maintenance facility. It's important to keep everything you build within... within the radius of a maintenance facility, because otherwise it's... Well, facilities degrade over time, the integrity, and that means that they're less efficient. It means they will not be producing as quickly. So we need... drones. Drones need polymers and electronics. A lot of polymers and electronics. That's why I'm focusing to get that up as quickly as I am. Because we need that. We really need that. So our current limitation, yeah, it's aluminium. We're really short on aluminium. Okay, so we've got those. So the basics are up. What we need now, we need more power to begin with. Yeah, we need more power again. So, now we can get power a bit further north. So, there. Can you build there? That's too far. That's outside of maintenance already, crap. Yeah, where's the maintenance radius? So we'd have transport. Can we build there? Yeah, that works. So more power there. Ah, crap, our worker hub is out. What do we have too much of? Carbon? Can turn that off for a bit. We need a second worker more than we need you. Yeah, let's prioritize the electronics factory as well. One thing to keep in mind is workers do degrade, so you need to replace them. It's not like the worker is eternal. It will break down. Need to be replacing on the regular. So it is always a race against time. You need to keep resource flow efficient. Are you making one? Yeah, already making the second, so that's fine. All you need is the extra aluminium already. And it's on the way. Yes, excellent. And perfect. already producing the first drone. And again, drones are sent to repair damaged buildings. You need to be producing these constantly, because they also wear out. Okay, so the solar farm is going up. We have a ready-to-go drone. I think I'd rather go for the scanner first. We need a lot of electronics for that. Just within maintenance? Yeah, that's within maintenance. Perfect. We have everything except the electronics. We're going to be short on that for a bit. But yeah, we need to find more aluminium sooner rather than later. So get on that. Can get you back online. Yeah, it's a matter of electronics and aluminium. Those are our choke points currently. That's what we need to focus on. Come on, people. Because iron, yeah, we have more than enough for steel. Plenty of reserves yet. Aluminium again is the shorter one, so my main concern, in fact, yeah, we need to find more resources. Ah, there we go. So you see the repair drones? There they go, repairing our facilities. Integrity going up. That increases their efficiency. But the more drones you've got, the more facilities they can service, but also, you know, the more drones wear and tear, the more drones you have to repair eventually. All of that takes materials, all of that takes workers, all of that takes extraction facilities and factories. It's a never-ending cycle. That's why I love this game. You can zoom out, see everything from outer space, and zoom back in and see the tiny workers scurrying to and fro. Right, so as soon as we get the scanner going, we're gonna go for food production and the research facility. That needs aluminium, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Come on, come on. Get the scanner going. Please find me aluminium. Because we could really use a second extraction facility for that. Yeah, actually build the electronics first. Because that takes a bit to produce, so yeah. So all the buildings... Oh, actually, no, not all the buildings are fully repaired, so these drones need to get to work eventually. There's a threshold past which they do their thing. Pending deliveries is reducing, so that's good. We've now rescanned 0.16% of the planet's surface. That's rather pathetic. Okay. No pending delivery, so the 2 drones are doing fine for the current load. But as soon as we go for the food production pipeline, I think we're going to need a 3rd one. Yeah, me changing my mind is just making them transport the aluminium back and forth, isn't it? Yeah, thought so. Because it goes to take it from where it's spinning in other facilities. I forgot about that particular... Yeah, efficiency on part of the workers. So yeah, they do that. So that's 7. We need 1 more. It's already under production. Okay, so cut down on that. Focus on this. We need all the aluminium now delivered to that. So we need 2 more. Halfway through this. I won't exactly sync up because this is almost as fast as the extraction, I think. Faster even, in fact. Yeah, it's overtaking it. So, last thing to be delivered will be the aluminium. And yes, I do realize the game says aluminum, but really, we're civilized people over here. Right, so yeah. 75%, I'll get that aluminium to the scanner. It'll start scanning. And in the meantime, we can start, yes, getting ourselves some ice and some food production, and then the research facility. So we can get some technology going to improve our pathetic existence on the planet. Yeah, I have a lot of polymers, but yeah, chemicals will have to be divided. In fact, the thing I haven't shown you is the allocation. You can allocate specific goods and different priorities to different manufacturing or construction or different uses. I sometimes modify the chemicals and water to prioritize food instead of other things, because without food you have no research, and that is really crucial. Alright, so it's scanning already. So if you take a look at the map, yep, it's targeting that, and it's scanning each sector per, let's see, 6 sols, so 6 days. As it's scanning further and further away from itself, it takes longer. But yeah, so far so good, and it's non-stop, so we don't have to actually select anything or do anything, it just works by itself. All you need to make sure is that it's powered and maintained. Right, so we now have some margin with aluminium, so let's make use of that. Let's start drilling for ice. Prioritize that. And from there, yeah, food factory, research. Probably a worker hub between those. Let's see. Probably more important to have it close to the food and research. I can put it there. Right, so how much? Okay, aluminium is being delivered. Why are you not building? Come on, worker, come on. For some reason it was the second worker that came to build it instead of the one that delivered the final needed good and was already there to build it. There's some quirks to the AI, some quirks. But mostly it's fairly well optimized. There we go. And there it goes again. So... now start extracting ice, and for that, let's see, we need one electronic for the worker. That means one of these, so prioritize that for a bit. We need some chips. And for the food factory, okay, we don't need any electronics for that, actually, so that's good. Yeah, so let's get an extra worker hub. So we increase our efficiency quite a bit there. Okay, nothing is waiting too long. It's really more a matter of lack of aluminium now, our problems. Ready, come on. Yeah. And there it goes. So, next worker hub. Ready for construction, and again, it's not the worker that delivers the final thing that is allocated, it's the other one. Interesting. We need electronics, but we also need a food factory. Right, so with the backbone of our industry pretty much set up, what we're going to be looking at is research next time, because we'll have food. We'll let ourselves build maybe a stockpile of like 3 or 4 and build the research outpost. Some colonists will start coming in, and that means we can then move on to bigger and better things, yes, among which things that need spaceports. And look at that, 10 electronics, 10 of everything. That's a big project for our current level of output, but very important. Have we found anything new? Did we know those chemicals already? I think we did. So we found no new resources for now. But yeah, keep the scanner going. We desperately need more aluminium. That's what we need to speed things along significantly. Right, so food factory, our current priority. And then research. All of that, though, will be next time. Until then.